So I made a lot of mistakes throughout my college career, especially as a college freshman, mostly because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Today I'm going to share with you all 10 things I wish I knew before starting college. Hey friends, I'm Brelynn, and this is Beauty and Brains, where I educate, equip, and inspire underrepresented minorities to not just survive, but thrive in higher education. Let's get into it. The first thing that nobody tells you is that you have to read the syllabus. I don't even remember getting syllabi in high school, but in college, the syllabus is your Bible, okay? It doesn't matter if you're pre-med, pre-law, English, engineering, the syllabus is your guide in every single class. It'll let you know all the readings that you have to do. It'll let you know your upcoming quizzes, your tests, the percentages for everything. My biggest suggestion is to make sure you read your entire syllabus. That way you know what you're getting yourself into. And then you should transcribe your syllabi into your planner of choice, whether that be an actual planner, Google Calendar, Notion, whatever it is. Make sure you write down all the dates on that syllabi because you may forget it, but your professor won't. Speaking of, number 2 is to get a calendar. If you got away with not using a calendar in high school, that was cute, but you won't get away with it in college. I mean, unless you do absolutely nothing, but there's so many fun activities to do in college, and you don't want to miss out on things because you really just didn't plan for them. So I suggest, again, using Google Calendar. I like to use Notion. When I was in college, I used an app called iStudiez Pro. I will leave a video to where I walk you guys through it down below and up in the cards above, but it was perfect because I was able to put in all the information for all of my classes, my professors, their emails, their phone numbers, and their office hours, as well as all of my classes, all of my office hours, all of my assignments. If I wanted to, I could have also used that as my regular calendar and put in things like meetings or activities or events. That way, if I got a random email about an event that was happening on campus that I was interested in, I could add it to my planner and I would know exactly when it was, and when the day comes around, I wouldn't forget about it. Which brings me to my next thing. Make sure you read your student email. I mean, you're gonna receive a lot of emails, but some of those things, they have some gems in there. There are scholarships that are gonna be hidden, public speakers, campus events. Some things you're just gonna know about word of mouth, but some things you will only know if you read your email, and sometimes first come, first serve. If there's free food or free t-shirts, you wanna make sure that you know about it because you read your email and you don't have 3,000 unread emails. I'm looking at you. Clear out your email box. Get ready for college. No, but seriously, don't forget to check your student email account. There are so many opportunities that can go unnoticed if you do. One thing I wish I knew before college was how important office hours are. I don't see how you can get an A in a class without going to office hours because, one, the teacher is not going to know who you are. They're not going to like you. They're not going to want to write you a letter of recommendation if they don't see you in their face during office hours. Classes are either just too big or they're too busy or you're just trying to figure out what's going on. You don't have time to build a relationship with your professors, but that's important because these are people who can serve as your mentors. These are the people who you can do research with or who will recommend you for summer research programs. You want to utilize the connections that are right in front of you by going to your office hours. I was in college, I scheduled all of my office hours appointments as if they were actual classes. So again, in the beginning of the school year, you're going to get a syllabi and it'll tell you my office hours are on Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 p.m. until 12:30 p.m. You have to make sure, number 1, make sure that none of your other classes conflict for each professor's office hours. Your math professor, your biology professor, your English professor, your psychology professor, any and every professor that you have, you need to be able to at least have 30 minutes once a week to see them, and that is at minimum. Each professor's office hours are set in the beginning of the semester, so make sure you speak up if you have a conflict. That way you can can schedule reoccurring office hours with the professor. Also, sometimes you'll have students in both the original class and the conflicting class, and together as a group, you can explain to your professor how that class is during the same time. And if it's more than one person, the professor may be willing to change their office hours if you let them know in the beginning of the semester. So again, make sure you read that syllabi, make sure you plan out time to go to office hours, and seriously, guys, take these office hours seriously. Attend them weekly or bi-weekly, just like it's class. Get your questions answered, review your quizzes and your exams, and gain a relationship with the professor more than you could have during class time. Before I started college, I wish somebody would have told me to take advantage of all of the campus resources. When I went to Spelman College, I was literally a part of the first class with a brand new gym. I don't think I ever worked out there, like not one time. I went to the dance studio a lot of times. I didn't go in the brand new swimming pool. Like, I was tripping. Now that I work out diligently on my own, I wish, I mean, that was a gym for all women. Like, what was I doing? I dropped the ball. That is a free gym that you can go to that's on your campus. Do not miss out on that. I realized this when I went to the school's gym during my master's program. I loved all of their guided workouts. They have body pump and soul cycle classes and things that I never could do on my own. So take advantage of literally having all these things at your fingertips right on your college campus. And speaking of exercise, listen, we all know about the freshman 15. It's real, okay? This isn't a joke. This isn't a rumor, okay? It really happens. Before you go to college, have a plan about how you're gonna exercise. Now, don't get too crazy. Don't do too much. Don't say, I'm a fast. I'm not gonna, like, just think, okay, I really like to work out in the morning time, so I'm gonna try and get up before my classes and work out. Or I like to work out right after my classes to give myself some energy. I like to work out late at night. Know when you like to work out. Know what kind of classes you wanna look out for, or if you wanna do yoga, or if you wanna go for a run, if you wanna ride your bike. Try and think about how you wanna incorporate exercising into your college life, because college life is way different than high school, and if you don't make time for being active, you literally won't be. But there's always time for food and hanging out with friends, being cooped up in your room in the library studying, and all those things lead to the freshman 15. So I wish I knew before I went into college to put more effort into an exercising routine. And I talk about this a lot because honestly, exercising is so good, not only for your physical health, but for your mental health. And you will be stressed, okay? Working out on a consistent basis will actually really help your mental health as well. That's not even on my list, but let's talk about that as another resource. Hello, school therapists, they're bomb and they're free. You can get a counselor. Oh my gosh, I literally went to my first therapist again in college. So if you have always wanted to talk to somebody, or if you feel like you're too stressed and you feel like you need to talk to a therapist, but you're probably like, I'm in debt, I'm stressed, there's too much going on, there's counselors at your school who are specifically there to talk to students about problems that students go through. It's okay to ask for help. You can get you a good counselor who you can see weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, whatever you need. Take advantage of the resources that are there for you at college. Next up, I wish I knew how important it was to not only make friends with my roommate, but also everybody on my hall. There were plenty of times where everybody on the hall would get together, sleep over in people's rooms, or just have like a girl chat night, or do each other's hair, do each other's makeup, go to parties. And it's like, if I wasn't involved with my hallmates, I would have felt really left out. I definitely came in with the mindset like, me and my roommates are gonna be best friends, and child, don't go in like that, okay? Expect to be friendly and nice to your roommate and to get along with them and hopefully be friends. But additionally, you should put forth some effort to get to know all of your hallmates. If things don't work out with your roommate, you could always sleep over at somebody else's room. If you get locked out, you have other people to call. Again, it's always really fun to feel like your best friend lives across the hall from you. And it's also a really nice way to build a broader community than just you and your roommate. Oh, I don't know why nobody told me this. If you are not feeling a class, okay, drop it. It's easy. Just drop it. Like, it took me so long to like have the courage to look at a syllabus and be like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Now there's some classes where you got to do it, okay? You need to take it. You need to take it that semester, and you probably have to take it with that professor. But if you can shimmy and shake and get around it, if it's like, this is an elective class, I can choose between 5 other classes, and this is the one I just happen to get stuck in, drop it, okay? Don't put yourself through things that you know you're not going to enjoy. You're going to know in the first 2 weeks if you're going to like that class or if it's really going to give you trouble. If you're not vibing with the professor, if you feel like it's maybe too difficult for you, if it's not vibing with your other classes in your course load, because that can make a big difference as well, drop the course. Okay, there's plenty of time in the beginning of the semester where you can drop the course and it will not impact your GPA. It won't impact anything, especially during add drop period. Girl, add a class, drop a class, play around a little bit, do a little mixology until you get your perfect schedule. I didn't do that throughout my entire college career. I listened to what my advisor said and then I signed up for the classes, and sometimes the classes just weren't the best fit for me, either that time, that semester, or that professor. If you're not feeling a class, drop it, but drop it early. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't figure this out until I was in my master's program. Do not pay for textbooks. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't pay for textbooks. I will leave a link in the description box down below where you can get textbooks and download the PDFs on your laptop, on your iPad. Like, do not buy your textbook, especially not from the bookstore, especially not full price. Also, bonus tip, don't buy your textbooks before classes start. Most of the time you'll receive your syllabi before classes and you'll say, okay, I need book 1, 2, and 3. And you get there and professor's like, I never use book 1. I use book 2 sometimes every now and then, but you'll have to write a 30-page paper on book 3. Okay, I can figure out book 2 when book 2 comes around. I'm not buying book 1. Book 3, I need to figure out a way to get that book. First, I'm gonna check the website that Brelynn put in her description box to see if I can get that book for free. I'm gonna ask my classmates or my dorm mates or people who have taken that class before. I'm gonna ask upperclassmen. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not paying for this book. I'm gonna make sure that worst case scenario, if I pay for this book, that I'm actually going to use it. And it's gonna be worth it. It's never worth your money because books are overpriced, okay? That's a scam. But at least if you're gonna have to pay for them, you need to make sure that you're actually going to use the book. And then don't pay full price for a book. I know we've all heard of Chegg. There's a million other textbook websites. Like, stay away from the bookstore. Unless you have a book scholarship, don't even go in there, okay? It's not worth it. Save your money. Ooh, this next one is something that I don't think I quite needed, but I definitely saw some other people where I was like, sis, you need to find a healthy balance between eating out and eating calf food. Now, calf food can be extremely unhealthy and fattening as well, because you could just be eating the french fries and the pizza bar and the hot dogs and the hamburgers and the grilled cheese and the fried chicken Wednesday. I haven't had fried chicken Wednesday. Oh my gosh, and so on. I never missed a Wednesday. Let me tell you, my whole college career, I never missed a fried chicken Wednesday. But balance, because sometimes I would eat a salad. Sometimes I think I could have done a little bit better, but I was good for eating in the calf. Like, I would at least save my money. I didn't eat out too much, and I had a car on campus. But especially for people, you don't have a car, you're not into the calf food, you're like, I'm not doing this, and you're eating out every single day or like multiple times on the weekend, getting DoorDash or what's the other food delivery services. Those things add up. Like, you need to set yourself a limit and a budget. Like, I'm only gonna eat out this many times a week. Even if you can afford it, it's just not healthy. Like, and you're probably also paying for your school meal plan. So let's just be smart about it, okay? Especially your freshman year. Try and find some things that you like at the calf. Try and get a routine. Like, that's one of the first things that you should do there. What am I going to be eating every day? The time that it would take to get there and the amount of money that I would have to pay when I already have a meal plan. It just doesn't make sense. You're wasting your money. Make it make sense. At least go in with the mindset of trying to find something that you like to eat in the cafeteria, because again, you're paying for it. I've always been a busybody, so whenever I see an activity fair, I'm the first one there. I want to know what's the clubs, what's the tea, what can I get my little fingers into. So you didn't have to tell me this before college, but I think a lot of people get maybe overwhelmed with activity fairs. If you don't know where to start, if you don't know where to make friends, if you don't know what you want to join, the activity fairs are exactly where you need to start. This is how you meet people, this is how you learn about things, and this is how you get involved. So do not be afraid to go to these huge fairs. You don't have to talk to everybody there. You can just take some pamphlets, you can just listen to people, but it'll really help you get involved, especially if you go to a really big school, or if you go to a school out of state and you don't know anybody, or again, if you just don't know how you want to get involved and you want to learn about different things other than like the big organizations that everybody knows about on campus. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all this, but I know you're not gonna listen to me. It's maybe something where you're gonna come back as a sophomore, you're gonna be like, Brelynn was right. I knew she was on to something, because I mean, I still struggle with making and sticking to a budget to this day. I mean, and as a college student, you're gonna be looking at me like, Brelynn, please. But listen, some people are making, you don't understand the amount of income that you have coming in as a college student. It could either be a lot or it's really not a lot, but either way, life still is going on. Like, you could be getting a huge refund check that you could be spending so smart. You could be investing it, you could be paying for your hair, you could be paying for an apartment, or you could be putting it back for loans. Like, whatever it is, I think that a lot of people get either a large chunk of money, or you have a job, or you get an allowance. Whatever it is, you kind of have like a little bit of money coming in at a time. You have to be able to budget your money. That's why college students are broke, because they get a little bit of money and they just spend it. They don't know what they're doing with it. And it's like, try and know before you go into college how you're gonna spend the money that you will have. Will I have a job on campus? Will I be getting $20 from mom every week? Will I be getting a $5,000 refund check, but not until September? What do I need to do before that? What will I need to pay for after that? Like, try and budget out your money, because listen, it's a part of the culture of being a broke college student, but if you can avoid it just a little bit, you know, why not? The last thing that I wish somebody told me before I entered college, I'm a goal-oriented person. So I made a list of all the things I wanted to accomplish after my college experience. But I would actually go further and say to make a social list and then also make an academic list, because I think that college is a great, huge combination of both. And you want to be both academically and socially successful. So I would make 2 goals lists and make sure you're striving towards them each and every single week or month. You can do a check-in after midterms and finals, and then either write a new list every semester or just revisit the list at the beginning of each new semester. I feel like that could be a whole nother video about the 10 things that I wish I knew socially before going to college. If y'all want to see that video, comment down below. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. This is the first video in my summer before college series that I'm doing for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have a specific video that you want me to do, you can leave the suggestions down below. Otherwise, make sure you live each day to the fullest, because you only live once, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I've always been a busybody.